This show is brought to you in part by Audible. With an unbeatable selection of audiobooks of all genres and originals you can't hear anywhere else, there's no better place to listen than Audible. And now you can get over half off the regular price for your first 3 months for a limited time. Text CTR to 500 500 or head over to audible.com/CTR. Welcome home, Raiders. Tonight, we are going to get you ready for 8.1. That's right, because Convert to Raid is bringing you the Battlenet news. Right, exactly. This is what we're talking about. By the way, you got to catch the live show, everybody. It's very important to catch the live show from time to time because you will get stuff here that you will not get on the recorded program. Welcome, everybody. Today is December 4th, 2018, and it is now 7:19 p.m. in the Pacific time. And we are coming at you from the CTR Command Post in Sacramento, California. My name is Pat Krane. Thanks for joining us from around the Blizzard universe. And of course, we have mega players today. Mega players. That's right. From Lagging Balls, the show about World of Warcraft and other Blizzard games. Guess what? It's Thorn. Hey, Thorn.
Hello, hello, hello.
Thank
you for having me on. It's great to be here from the other coast.
From the other coast, yes, so nice. So from coast to coast to coast, let's go to a guy from merely a setback. It's Sharku!
I'm coasting. We're all coasting through here, Pat.
Oh boy. And
we got it.
And also new to the West Coast, it's from Overwatch Daily and Tactical Crouch.
Practical Touch.
It's Johnny! John Horstmann. Hey, how's it going, man?
Oh, man. What's up, dude?
You guys want to play Fortnite later?
Oh, boy.
You gonna play Fortnite?
Oh, boy.
Dude, good to be here, man.
Yeah.
I thought it was supposed to be hot here in California. I thought it was supposed to be warmer. It's colder than Denver.
Yeah.
Why?
It's fine.
Why did I move here?
I don't know. It's totally good. Got that West Coast whatever going on for you. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Twitch chat. Welcome, guys that are listening to us from home or work or the car or whatever. And welcome, fellas, to another fun week of gaming weirdness on the show.
I feel welcome.
All right.
Thanks, Pat.
All right. Well, that's good. We've got a lot. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about for sure. I think I might just dive right in. Let's get to your experiences as we go through the show instead, because there is so much going on.
There's a lot. Yeah.
There is. I mean, the show notes are kind of packed with a bunch of stuff. That's just the way that it goes. Mm-hmm. So let's just dive right in, and we will talk about what's going on in Blizzard news. And I wanted to say a big congratulations to Blizzard for all of their nominations at the Gamers' Choice Awards. So congratulations to Blizzard for all that stuff. We have got fan favorite MMORPG for WoW. We've got fan favorite shooter, fan favorite game for Overwatch. We've got fan favorite multiplayer game for both Overwatch and WoW. And we have fan favorite RPG for Diablo 3 Eternal Collection. And fan favorite gaming convention is BlizzCon. Those are the nominations for the Gamers' Choice Awards. That's going to be this Sunday on CBS. So
what was that, 6? 7?
Something. It's a lot.
7 because two of them in multiplayer.
Yeah. So
go figure. Blizzard has fan favorite games. Go figure.
Really?
Aren't they all fan favorite?
I think so.
Right, because it's the
Gamers' Choice Awards.
Choice Awards, yeah.
Right. Right.
So I know a lot of my good friends. Action Jackson was at because they recorded it and premiered everything this past week. So they were all in LA.
Okay.
Tim the Tatman and those guys were there. I haven't asked who won. I could find out who won. I think because I think that they did the whole show on Sunday. But
oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I believe that's because they're not going back.
Right. Well, and they have to probably edit it for time and all that kind of stuff. So
I always thought that they did those live.
Well, they do for like the Hollywood stuff, because then they have the whole red carpet thing. And
we're more technologically advanced than Hollywood.
Well, this is isn't this
you're Peter Jackson?
Isn't this the first ever Gamers' Choice Awards? I think it is. I mean, we have the Video Game Awards that is going to be this week.
Right.
But if we also have the Gamers' Choice Awards, and I think that's the first time for that.
I still feel like Gamers' Choice Awards is risky territory, though. Like, gamers are notoriously the trolliest people in the world.
Notoriously awful at making choices.
Like, that's MMO.
Right.
But I mean, you're right. Like, we saw this with the T-Mobile fan voted MVP 2 years ago for BlizzCon. Where it's XQC, and they were like, the first round or something like that. But it's XQC as the biggest stream following, and so hey, you're the MVP.
Right. No, they were second place. They actually just finished losing to South Korea or to Korea immediately before they awarded South Korea the trophy, and then they got to bring XQC right back up on stage so he could awkwardly accept his trophy right next to the winning team. It just trounced him.
All the respect in the world for XQC, but he was not the MVP. Like, there's no world where he was the MVP of that tournament.
That's funny. That's so funny.
So, choice. I mean, Fortnite. The Fortnite Awards.
Yeah, I think it will be kind of Fortnite-y, won't it? I mean,
Overwatch League, though, in like the traditional, like the joystick awards and stuff, Overwatch specifically did really well in esports.
Sure.
Well, they got like esports event of the year over like League of Legends,
and they should. I mean, because they really crushed it coming out of the gate. So
they did, but they also it's a difference of like I think 250,000 over versus but 800,000 or whatever, they
on
had
stuff like that though. It's about who votes, and so I mean,
that wasn't choice. That was industry awards.
Oh,
that was awarded by the industry. It wasn't just about.
Gotcha.
But even then, I would think League of Legends was such a bigger following. Blizzard employees.
Yeah, it was only Blizzard employees that were in it.
Yeah,
that'd be hilarious.
Reading the comments on the Blizzard forum announcing that they were nominated, it's oh boy.
Yeah, that's Hey guys, if you ever
breaking news,
I want a gamers.
The forums are full of trolls.
I want a Gamers' Choice Losers Award show where you just pick the worst MMO.
God, it's like the sarcastic awards.
It's what it is.
It's like, what is it? Don't they do something for movies that are like?
Isn't it the tomatoes or the raspberries? The raspberries.
Yeah. Like we get the Razzies for video games.
I think that's every day, though. I think that's every single day.
Fair.
Every other day.
It's called Twitter.
Yeah,
it's called Reddit.
Yeah.
We just named like everything. Everything all the time is the Razzies for gaming.
Right.
That's funny.
But that's cool. I mean, so they're up for a bunch of awards. We'll see exactly how it all ends up, and if it was recorded last week and it's going to be airing this week, that's cool. It's the first time for the Gamers' Choice Awards. That's neat. So, and then we also have the Video Game Awards this week, and Fist is actually going to be there, which is cool and awesome and weird.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
and I'm jealous.
So she's flying out tomorrow, and so that's pretty rad, man.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I heard that that she was doing some last minute shopping.
So is she going out there for like double tap? Is she going out there?
No, not for double tap, for Tryhard, for Imagine Media, her new gig.
Yeah.
That she was talking about last week.
I didn't get to listen to the show last week.
That's right.
I'm a busy guy.
Other people did though. I'm just saying.
You should try while you're working out. I hear that's good.
Yeah. But
speaking of trolls.
Yeah, exactly. This show is full of trolls, And it will continue
be a rough one. Buckle up, chat.
It will continue to be full of trolls because we've got to talk about 8.1, which is all full of trolls. We've got Rastakan's Rumble, which is all full of trolls. And then we've got Overwatch, which is definitely full of trolls. So it's gonna be troll heaven here for a second. But good luck to Blizzard on all that stuff. And I do think that we should probably talk about 8.1. And we'll talk about kind of where we're playing at too. I think that would be good to let everybody know kind of what's going on and how we plan on playing 8.1, because there is so much stuff happening right out of the gate. I thought it would be a good idea to tell everybody what's going on and kind of give them a heads up on some of the stuff, because it's not all. There's so much stuff going on.
It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
That's what a normal expansion would look like.
Right. And it's funny because we're getting a bunch of new content. We're getting a bunch of new quest lines and stuff like that for the war campaign. War campaign is kind of cool. I started to play that today on the PTR. And then I had to do the Darkshore Warfront to continue the campaign. And the problem with the PTR is right now nobody's playing it. So I couldn't do the Warfront campaign, or I couldn't do the Warfront, and then I couldn't finish the rest of the storyline. So, but the beginning of it was cool. I liked it. It was good.
Yeah,
it was good, and I hear good things about the rest of it, and everybody that's played it and played it right away like a smart person said that it was fun. So I'm looking forward to that.
Good.
Yeah, Thorn. Is there stuff that you're looking forward to in particular on 8.1?
Yeah, I mean, there's like I like the idea of what they're doing with the war campaign. I like that they are trying to mix things up with it. I like that. I like that they're, and I guess you could say that about a lot of what they're doing in 8.1. I like how reactive. Not reactive. That's the wrong word, because that has such a negative connotation. I like how open Blizzard is to fan feedback and player feedback.
Maybe responsive.
Responsive? Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
Responsive.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't mean they take what we get loud about and just immediately act on all of it, because that would be an absolute disaster. But I do like that when people complain about a certain thing and there's enough of that, they take an actual look at it, and you can see some of those things in play here.
Right. And I think that so some of the things that they've been responsive about was like the vendor situation, right? Mm-hmm. So in 8.1, you'll be able to see like it's not just one vendor; it's like a bunch of new vendors, and they're all going to be selling you pets and mounts and transmog and all sorts of different stuff. And then there's one guy that will sell you all the new Azerite gear. If you are really looking for a particular piece, you can just go up and buy it, which is pretty rad, for sure. You have to collect. What are they called? I can't remember. I know I put them in the notes somewhere.
I don't even know. It's similar to the Valor and Justice, though, isn't it? A little bit.
Yeah.
Or collecting, maybe not in actually getting them, but it's that sort of idea. You'll get a currency and you can spend them on
Titan Residium.
Right. Titan Residium. Okay. Residium? I don't know.
Residuum. To use in Residuum, because you and your pronunciation.
Wow. Wow.
Live editing.
Good thing you beeped yourself.
I saved you editing though, Pat. That's the thing, because I did make it a lot easier for you.
Oh boy. All right. So that's, if you want a guaranteed Azerite item, you can go and purchase it, which is kind of nice. You can also go through the island expedition. There's going to be a vendor for that guy, and you can buy a bunch of different stuff from him, and you can buy it. So they're basically
385 gear, right?
Yeah.
Is
so
3 the max for it
for right now.
And they just like changed on the PTR how much it costs. So we don't really know how much it's going to cost yet, because originally it was like 2,000 for Residuum, and now it's like down to like 675.
Right. And I think what it was is they wanted it to be a few weeks for you to save up to be able to get that stuff. That was my understanding anyway. so that it would take you a few weeks to save up, that, right? and that's okay. You know,
I like that you can get rep tokens as well.
Like 410, right? 410 for the highest dungeon you do, and then 410 for your weekly cash right now, I think
that's right.
I'm making it up as I go, apparently. Arbitrary number?
Sure.
Maybe?
Yeah,
sure.
Totally.
Let's go for that. That sounds good.
Over 9,000, chat.
Yeah. No, that was last expansion.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Very good.
So that's pretty cool. Also, there's going to be so let's talk a little bit about the new war campaign just in general, because I saw something on Reddit today that was talking about timing of everything going for the war campaign. The war campaign is going to be a series of quests. It will be substantial. It sounds like enough. It's not going to be one quest a week like Legion unfortunately was. So it's going to be, it looks like it's going to be in 6 parts total, I think. But there's only 4 on the PTR that I'm aware of. And so we'll be able to play through those 4 parts, and then that's when the raid starts. So there was a guy on Reddit that actually took a look at the calendar on the PTR, and it said part 1 starts next week, December 11th. Go figure. That's when it should start. Yep. Part 2 starts 18th of December, the next week. Right away. That's nice. And then part 3, we have a little bit of a holiday break, you know, gotta have all that stuff. So it starts up again January 8th.
Lazy.
It's 3 weeks later.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of disappointing, but that's all right. Don't they know that we have time off during the holidays?
Yeah. That's like, that's not when I want to be grinding quests, by the way. Blizzard, like, come on.
That's fine.
Come on.
It's funny. I always think of it from their perspective in terms of like, do I want to work through the holidays on the new set of things? Right. Nope, I don't. Let's take a break.
Developers should be the same as retail for holiday hours.
Yeah. No, but those guys are like, no, you know what? Hey, let's just let the game play out. Let's not add anything new.
Figure it out. Yeah.
Let's just chill out a little bit. And then part 4 begins January 22nd, a couple weeks later. So, and apparently that's when the raid's going to start. Probably. Most likely. Right? This is all speculation. It's based off of the calendar that's in the PTR.
Of Reddit comments, by the way.
And based off of Reddit comments.
News. The Battlenet news.
But we kind of knew that. Well, we were led to understand that the Battle of Dazaralor, there we go,
nice.
was going to start in January after the holidays, and so that would make sense, wouldn't it, guys? I mean,
or you could just do what my raid team calls it, Siege of Zagramar.
Zagramar, isn't that the place in Aladdin?
The shrews, man.
Sure, it is now.
Agrabah.
Right.
What is that? Right. I don't know. Where does Aladdin take place?
It's Agrabah. Yeah.
Okay. I can't believe
sugar dates and figs. Sugar dates and pistachios.
Will Smith is playing Genie in the new Aladdin. Did you guys know that?
I did not.
Quote unquote
Robin
live
Williams.
action.
Yeah, Robin Williams. That's a big shoes to fill.
I would never want to fill those shoes.
Well, no, I wouldn't. Well, I mean, and you've got Donald Glover playing Simba. So
that's cool.
That's great.
Yeah,
totally different movie, but like I'm excited.
I mean, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Childish Gambino.
Yeah, I'll take. Yeah, you're right. Honestly, I'll take JTT, man. Not now. Not now.
JTT
in his prime,
you know
man.
me. Yeah,
we're so far off the rails. I can't even tracks anymore.
Yeah,
because now JTT sounds like this. I can't taste the thing.
I was waiting. I was waiting for a break in the conversation that
it's
I knew would
happen. You just need to throw it out there.
That I knew would never happen to try to steer us back on the rails somewhere.
Not sure you should let John and I on the show together again.
Yeah.
I knew this was a dangerous
podcast, Thorn.
I knew that this.
All right, I'm in.
I knew that this was a dangerous combination when we assembled this crew.
All right, I'm done, Pat. I'm done.
So
It's
bring us back here.
high risk, high reward, Pat.
let's hope there's some
Still
kind of
waiting on the
reward.
reward.
Yes.
Entertainment.
Still
Right now
waiting
we're
on that. Burp, 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 burp. All right.
So the war campaign.
Yeah, so war campaign, really, really fun stuff. But what's really, really fun is Island Expedition reward update.
Oh no. So one thing I did want to say about just real quick about the war campaign stuff. You know the cinematic that we saw at BlizzCon?
Mm-hmm.
The one where we were talking about the Night Warrior now, right? Where we're talking about the Night Elves striking back at the Horde and trying to reclaim their homeland and all that kind of stuff. You will have new context after that initial week of the that cinematic, and it's pretty cool. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm just going to say you will have new context for it especially if you play Alliance. I don't know what the Horde side looks like at all, but if we don't
know anything about the Horde side, right?
I don't.
I've scoured the interwebs. I can't find anything on the Horde side, so I can only find the Alliance side, quest side. Well, because apparently Pat is the only one who's downloaded it and played it.
Right.
So
right.
That's the only. And then people are like, "Why don't they listen to PTR feedback? Because there is none."
Right. Yeah, it happens. It does, but it's pretty cool. And you will have new context for all that stuff, and it'll be super cool. I don't want to.
I'm excited to find out because honestly, like the place where they've left the Horde story-wise is iffy at best, and that bothers my soul. So,
well, and
looking forward to it.
And apparently, so in the next patch, we're also supposed to get a little bit more agency for Horde players, where they're going to be able to kind of side with Sourfang or with Sylvanas more, or say screw you, guys, I'm going home.
Sylvanas, by the way.
A lot of people, honestly, like I've been talking to people. I have friends
double down on the story individually. I have friends in the game that have been talking to me that know that I am on merely a setback. It's a lore podcast. They're like, hey, if you ever want anybody to come on your show and talk about, and like be pro Sylvanas, like I'm a Horde. I love Sylvanas. I'm all about it. And I'm like, yeah, you're like the 9th person that's talked to me about that in the last hour. Like they're out there, man. I mean, I think that most of Horde players. I want to talk to you about why the Earth is flat.
There are dozens of us.
I want to know why the Earth is flat. Like let's talk about it.
No, I think there are a lot out there. Well, and I remember listening to a Taliesin video a little while ago, and he's talking about for him it's more role play. Like his undead warlock is all about Sylvanas,
Sure.
And
that's cool. That makes sense.
But at the same time, his, troll shaman is not.
Why is the undead warlock about Sylvanas? Like a lot of the undead wanted to meet their family human counterparts.
Yeah, some of them could, but his RP, you know what I mean? Like that's his choice.
His fantasy. Yeah.
And it's cool, but we could talk about if we've learned on merely a setback. If you start talking about Sylvanas, you never stop. So, because you just start arguing with each other about whether she's pure evil or not, or whatever.
Or who would she play in a Disney movie?
Who would she play in a Disney movie?
Selfish.
Well, and then there's and then you can get into the whole thing about the latest retcon from. Alex Afrasiabi.
If anybody says,
I don't want to. I just want to mention it that it's out there, and then we'll just move on.
He's still in the penalty box for me. I am like Afrasiabi and I are we're lovers and haters, but right now we're haters. So.
Okay, so what I want to know from you guys is on the retcon thing, because we all know that it's out there because Alex Afrasiabi has said that some things like Sylvanas started the Wrathgate thing, or she, I don't know what, kind of generally said stuff like that. But what I want to know is, do you hate it or love it? That's the only thing I want to know. That just a quick hate it or love it type of thing. Thorn, hate it or love it?
I don't think I'm aware of this.
Me too. Thank you.
You're not aware of it? Oh God,
no.
This was a big hubbub. So Alex Afrasiabi said in an interview that Sylvanas instigated the acts that happened at the Wrathgate.
Ordered.
Yeah, ordered.
The Wrathgate.
Or things around the Wrathgate. I think it was kind of vague as far as what he said. So it was kind of it was kind of a little bit of a retcon. Or not really a retcon, but new information.
What is this term? What does retcon mean?
Like when you're trying
when they go back and change something that didn't happen.
Right. And so
it's a big term for comic books.
So some people say that this is a retcon. Some people say that, no, this is new information that may lead us in a new direction that we didn't have before.
We didn't have that information before. That's a big deal.
Right. So Shark, retcon, or new information?
It's new information that we shouldn't have.
All right. And since you guys haven't heard about it until now, I'm not going to ask your opinion. So
but that's the long and the short of it.
For sure.
I think if the Blizzard devs knew that she planned the Wrathgate, that's really interesting. It's really, I love it actually, because it was vague up until they leaked it in an interview. But if you're going to leak that in an interview, like, we shouldn't know that. They could have done something so cool for us to find out.
Yes.
Like the fact, like, she's being so mean. Why is she being so? And then we realized, like, she's betrayed us this whole time. We thought she was this hero, and really she's been betraying. They could have done some really, really awesome storytelling that really would have wrapped it all up. So if they knew internally that that was the choice that was going to be made, that she actually planned and ordered the attack at the Wrathgate, letting it loose in an interview like that with absolutely no control was a huge, and that's why Afraziabzi is in the penalty box.
That's actually why Mike Morheim left.
That's exactly why Morheim. Yeah, Afraziabzi did that, and Morheim was like, "And let me sign my
and I'm out."
Fucking papers.
No, you, Alex.
So the question. So the real question is, why would he say that, like, out of game 10 years after the fact?
Well, that establishes motive, though. That's why.
No.
So here, part of the reason that I've had an issue with people being upset or surprised by Sylvanas' actions here. Did we expect outright genocide kind of stuff? No. Should we have? Maybe. I mean,
sure.
She has not been particularly nice to everybody around her, and I mean everybody around her, including the Horde. So this isn't particularly out of character for Sylvanas. Now, I'm sorry, I'm going down the Sylvanas.
I told you guys.
Rabbit hole.
I warned you.
Right. No. It happens.
But his comment, though.
Chat, you guys heard me. I stay quiet.
His comment, though, would establish motive. I understand why they might be looking to say something like that, because it is reaching back to something that everybody can relate to from key moments in lore that everybody experienced firsthand in a very dramatic fashion. And establishing some motivation behind that we may not have realized, quote unquote, or known. Because if she's the one who ordered that, then this is not the first time, that she's attempted something like this or, achieved it.
Right. And
so that it wouldn't be so out of character for her, quote unquote.
And that's what he was trying to do. However, the player base had no idea. Everyone, nobody thought she was actually behind it.
Right.
It was.
If that was a threat, it was not pulled.
Right. And it was something that, if that was something that was actually true in their Bible or whatever, as they're creating the story, then you release it through, you could have done so many cool things. And
guys, maybe
just trying to defend, oh yeah, she's always been bad. No, it's the Wrathgate. We didn't know that.
You know what? Choose suspect. I mean, she's
WoW is just
facey of it all.
There you go. Yeah. So we least suspected. WoW is really just a choose your own adventure, and none of us took that path.
Apparently, I don't know, but anyway, I'm disappointed in how it happened. But
well, let's
I think it fits her,
and we'll be able to talk a little bit more about it. So in 8.1, we'll be able to say yes for Horde players. We'll be able to say yes, we like Sylvanas more, or yes, we like Sourfang more, and we'll be able to. Or say Bane. I'm going home.
Can we choose
Bane more?
And Alliance, we just say, you know what? We just hate the Horde. How about that?
Do we get to choose between Metzen and Afraziabi? Can we do that?
No.
I'm being so mean to Alex. I'm sorry.
Low.
I know.
Wow.
I'm just very disappointed right now.
Do we choose between Steve Jobs and Tim Cook? Apple fans?
Get over it. I just need to get over it. And I love everybody at Blizzard, and this is one of the best stories that's ever been told in video games, as far as I'm concerned, just the entirety of the Blizzard story. And Alex Afrasiabi has a huge role to play in that.
Yeah.
Probably arguably the biggest role to play in that. So I love you, bud, but come on.
All right.
What?
All right. We should probably move on to talking about other things that are 8.1 related. Maybe. I don't know.
An Expedition reward update.
Let's do that. Expedition.
Just ahead of
John, do you have something to say about the Island Expedition rewards updates?
I have no idea.
Oh, boy.
No, so it used to be, right? So Island expeditions, you know that one thing that you do when you need Azerite stuff?
Yeah.
Which depending on how much you played, you never got around to.
I know.
Island expeditions. Well, their thing and their stuff, and there's a lot of like cosmetic rewards for that.
Yeah.
And how it has been factored in the past is the likelihood for you to get those really cool cosmetic rewards was based on you killing mobs that are tied to those cosmetic rewards.
Yeah.
Which kind of caused a divergence in how people wanted to approach running these island expeditions.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, don't you love it when like some people want to like go for kills and some people want to go for objective when you're playing like a objective based shooter like
Right.
Overwatch? Yeah, like some people are like, bet I got gold
Or a MOBA.
Right.
So it's kind of the same thing, but wowified a little bit. And
Yeah.
so they've updated it, very a simple update, and saying rather than you having to kill this certain type of mob to raise your chance to get these cosmetic items, we're just going to make it the whole island.
Right.
Anything that you do toward the objective,
And that's the way it
that.
should have been all along.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I know.
you don't want somebody
yeah.
treasure hunting when somebody else is trying to go for objectives and trying to get a clear of the things so that they can go do whatever else they want to do. Because
Carl.
Right. Because island
Carl.
expeditions for some people, not that exciting, but we need it. We need the Azerite for the necklace so that we can get it geared up. So because we're
I love the idea of island expeditions. They definitely overpromised.
I think we're gonna need, what was it, level 48 to max out all of the mythic gear that's coming in for 8.1 and beyond that we know about.
I hit like level 27 yesterday.
I know. I hit 26.
And I've been raiding every week. But I don't do anything else.
I'm at 24 right now, and I haven't played in jeez.
Yeah, that sounds about right for me. People that I have been raiding, like people on my team that are listening to this right now, are so mad at me. I'm sure because they're like, "Because you don't do anything," and I'm like, "That's not."
Yeah,
I'm mad at you
raid
for
with
them,
you guys, man.
I'm mad at you for them.
That's not inaccurate. Yeah. Yes. But so I mean that's pretty cool. They're making that a little bit easier. They're also gonna be bringing in what else? So they also have the WarMode stuff. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago on the show where we were talking about WarMode rewards, kind of like getting some bonus rewards for those teams that are, or for the side that is less represented on that
Getting
particular.
wrecked.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That's pretty cool.
And so apparently on the PTR, they were talking about how when at certain points anyway, Wowhead said that it was 30% reward bonuses, where it's normally like 10 for just WarMode by itself. But now it's 30% for the underrepresented side. And then I was watching Taliesin and Evitel, and they were talking about PTR testing where they saw it as high as 15 to 20. So it may be scalable. Who knows exactly
Interesting.
how it's going out, but
Sure.
but it's very interesting. And so I still don't know if that's enough for me to want to get clobbered.
I'm with you. Like the 10%, I never wanted to, like, dude, open up WarMode to get your extra 10%. After I leveled,
Right.
whatever, 10%.
Yeah.
Big deal. I'd rather not hate doing my dailies
The
than getting an
experience,
extra 10%.
the experience was worth it. That's the problem with WarMode right now, I think, is that when you were leveling, that 10% XP bonus is valuable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you really want to do that. But 10% more Azerite power or whatever, artifact power, most people are like, whatever, I can farm that in expeditions or doing something else much easier, much more efficiently. I don't want to and I don't want to PvP, so I'm just not going to.
What about 30%?
A reward that's going to make us want, even though we're not really wanting to PvP, they need to give us a reward that's worth the risk, I guess is what I'm saying.
What about 30%? Would that be? How about
I do it for 30?
Yeah, I feel like I'm 30, a used car salesman trying to sell you on a lemon or something.
Well, yeah, but I'm even saying maybe it's not the percentage of the rewards. Maybe it's they need to give us something more, like, because one thing that it doesn't count if you're doing your dailies, it doesn't count towards rep.
You know what, Shark?
10%
I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you there, buddy. Because here's what it's worth to me. All right. Faction pride, my friend. It's a thing called faction pride.
Hold on a second.
WarMode has never come off of my account ever.
Hold on a second. I also want to put something in people's ears right now, because you play Horde.
That's right.
We're playing Alliance. We're getting creamed over here. We're just like, you know what? I'm going to just turn it off for now, because we're underrepresented everywhere that we go.
But you also go ahead.
Really?
And it's pretty much. I mean, it seems like the people that I know, right? The people that I know are still on WarMode are playing Horde.
Or don't know how to turn it off.
I don't know. I don't know if it's stronger one faction or the other, because I mean there were really good PvPers in Alliance as well. So maybe they're just not on playing on our server. But
I have definitely got my butt handed to me.
Yeah,
I just feel like. Go ahead.
I was going to say my response to that is you come from a PvP server, because I played with you guys over there for a little while, and I know because I remember having to like talk to you guys in guild, like, somebody come help me because people keep killing me in the Borean tundra. But anyway, stupid Alliance, I hate them. The dumb gnome. But that's the thing. You come from that mentality already. Those of us that are used to a non-PvP world PvP experience, I think a world PvP experience would be really, really cool, but you have to make the risk worth the reward. For some players, it is just, I'm going to be a PvP or faction pride. I'm the Horde. Come at me, bro. And that's cool.
That's a solid point. That's a really solid point, because
the entire community into this idea of WarMode or WarMode, they need to make the risk worth the reward. And right now,
that's a really solid point, because you know, I talk all of faction pride and everything like that, and that's true. Yeah. But the one other thing that's really important for me to note, I happen to be terrible at PvP, and I mean bad.
Nice.
Okay, I came up. So the school of thought when I was first joining the game, which was in Wrath, was that you level on a PvP service because you ain't no bitch.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sure.
Pat.
Sure. No, that's fine.
Watch that.
Don't worry about that.
Yes,
we get one or two per show.
Those were my groups of friends, and that was actually both factions, because I had friends on each side and joined both servers at the same time, and they were both PvP servers. That's how I was raised as a lobby, you know, that's how you do it. So I had that mindset early on, and you're absolutely right, Shark. With that mindset, you know, that's a completely different original place to come from in the game, and that makes a lot of sense.
Right.
So
see, now when I was growing up as a lobby, I was over on Feathermoon, which is an RP server. So
that doesn't sound like the name of a PvP server.
So, you know, we went to wherever it was, to the battlegrounds, and fought, and I had a lot of fun there and stuff like that. But you come back to your regular server and you're like, all right, well, I guess we're just hanging out then. You know,
I want to see the Blizzard boardroom where they all sat down with all the names of potential servers, and they're like, Feathermoon.
That's an RP server.
Definitely not.
Definitely an RP server.
I come from Kitten Color EU.
Right.
It's an RP server where no one can go past level 10. So
nice.
Oh god.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Nice. But yeah.
But here's the thing though. So personally, I believe that like balancing this is really difficult. Because on the one side, if you make that experience high enough to where it's unanimously like, yes, turn on WarMode, it's too high. It's too much. And the people who don't want to play in WarMode are at a severe disadvantage.
And they feel like they have to.
They have to, or they have to not enjoy the way they play.
Right.
On the other side of it, if you make it too low, like 10%, I'm like, dude, it's 10%, whatever. I'll play an extra hour and a half, and then I don't have to worry about fighting anyone or get ganked for 45 minutes
Right.
And
well, and the 10% is where it's at just for turning on war mode anyway. Right. So both sides are getting that.
That's where it was. Both sides got it. Didn't matter if you were advantage or disadvantage. It was just 10%, giving you like a boost for being on the loser side of your server, basically.
Wow.
Like you know, like I don't know. I don't know if like A, I don't know if I love that. B, I don't know if it incentivizes doing that. It just makes you feel worse about not turning on war mode. Like that's kind of how I feel. I'm like, cool, now I'm not getting 30% XP because I'm a
I'll tell you, I turned war mode off after that. I was enjoying it for the first week or so, playing the game, leveling up, and even a little while, like, oh yeah, getting a little bit extra stuff. This is good. I got war mode and I'm good. I had the faction pride. I was wearing my Stormwind tabard. It was that first horde raid on Borealis where I was dead for 30 minutes at a time.
Oh my God.
That's when I turned it off, and that's when it just wasn't fun.
Yeah.
And it's even though you're incentivizing, hey, you're getting your butts handed to you. Here's more reason to corpse walk through your own capital city. Like,
so is this the PvP equivalent of LFR's determination buff?
I maybe is what they're trying to do. I don't know. I feel like there's some other.
What would you call it? Because this buff has it. Oh, it's the call to arms buff right now, right? But
right.
Because the only way to really balance it is then to make it non-incentivized on the other side, so people will turn it off and stop killing everybody. But even then, most of the people that are doing it are just trolling and want to do it anyway because they can.
No, the people that are playing war mode right now like playing war mode, and they're not going to turn it off because they've left it on this long. They're not going to turn it off just because they're not getting XP anymore. So you can't de-incentivize it. Right. Whatever it is.
You could take, I'm saying disincentivize. You could take the rewards away from those people and they'll still do it. Is my point.
Right. Absolutely.
Because like Thorn, they were on a PvP server already. It was the same thing. They were doing it without a reward. Now they're getting a reward for playing the game they've always played. And I like the idea of trying to incentivize normal players that have been on normal servers to play on a PvP type experience. But yeah, I not
feel no
quite
more
working.
tied to the Horde versus Alliance storyline because I'm in war mode, which is the ultimate goal, right?
That was what they were moving for too. I think,
that's why they want.
I feel like that's
obviously
definitely part of it.
Speaking for myself here, but like I don't know if that's the best way to make me hate the Alliance. Is like, now you can kill them. Yeah. It just makes me like playing in a party more because I love 5v1ing.
Hopefully a move like this where we do see some, increases in rewards for those guys that are, maybe not have as many people around, is that Darkshore is going to be pretty interesting at some point because there's going
to be lit.
So there's going to be lots of world quests. There's going to be there's a new boss over there who's a giant tree. The tree from Alterac Valley, actually.
Not a tree, he's an ent.
Yeah, well, he's not an ent either. He's an ancient.
An ancient.
So I mean, there's so that guy's gonna be over there as a world boss, and then we've got all the world quests, and we've got all kind of everything is kind of back over at Darkshore again. So it could make things interesting over there. Although maybe not.
All that being said, I have no idea how they fix it or balance it. Like John was saying, it's very complicated. Right. I don't know. One step I would say is rather than making the numbers go up or down, just add rep to it. Like people want rep. That would be an incentive for me.
I think that exhausts the problem. I think that makes it worse. I think
it might. I don't know, but I think it's worth a try. I just want 10% more rep.
I just want my Dark Iron Dwarf already.
Rep is generally hard capped by the number of dailies that you have, right?
Yeah, so that you can't blow through.
So yeah, but like leveling, I'm like, dude, spend an extra hour listening to your favorite ASMR streamer. No problem. Like, whatever. I'm already doing that anyway. I'll just play WoW while doing it rather than laying on my stomach naked on my wood floors.
With my body pillow, with my diva body pillow.
Dude, with how broke I am this expansion and how a lot of my friends are just still broke. And I know there are some people that are just working the system and have all the money in the world. But I wonder if even like a trickling, like
careful with the word trickle
paid. Like your faction is paying you by the minute. every second, every minute you have PvP on or something like that.
Yeah, you actually
get like 5 gold every minute, 5 gold every minute.
That'd be awesome.
Something like that. I don't know. That would be enough for me to do it.
Sure.
But anyway, but at the same time,
another buff to rogues, by the way.
It's a balance thing. Yeah.
So that's but that is a thing that is coming anyways for 8.1.
Yeah.
So we can see kind of how that plays out, and if it does scale, that could be very interesting as well. So
the good news is they are acknowledging it's not perfect, and they're trying to make it better.
they're trying to make it not so lonely for those hordes out there. They're going, where are all the Alliance PvP guys? Where are they?
And RBG's winning.
Oh boy! Wow!
Isle of Conquest.
Wow! All right. Hey, one real quick thing that I did that I saw this week. I think I saw it last week, but it's about the Mythic Plus Season 2, and I don't think that's coming right away. Is it? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure the timing,
but it's a new affix called Reaping, and this one is pretty legit for Mythic Plus.
I honestly can't comprehend it.
It seems like this is going to be extremely difficult, especially at the higher keys. So the thing about Reaping is that every 20% on the enemy's bar, all of the trash is going to come back and attack you.
This sounds like a buff that was written during like April Fool's Day.
Right. They just said, "Hey man, let's see. How about everybody just comes back and tries to kill you?" Perfect.
Especially if you have like the stacking buffs that you can't kill everybody. I don't know. I don't know how they're expecting to do this.
Season 2 is January. Thank you, chat room.
Oh God.
So we've got some time to kind of get ready for this, get prepared for it, but
it's not going to be. So this is people are way over. They're not going to all come back with their full health pools and their full ability table at them. They're just not. They already say that they charge at you. I guarantee you that maybe they have their full ability table, but they're just kind of like an auto attacking melee thing, and you just AoE them down. Continue. I'm calling it right now. It's going to be one of the easiest affixes to go through.
But it sounds horrifying, right?
It sounds horrifying.
Yeah.
It's Day of the Living Dead. Whenever there's
build a wall,
right? It's it's DayZ all over again. Now,
yeah, there you go.
So it's gonna be kind of crazy. So
it does sound really cool as long as it's not like, because I automatically assumed he was just resurrecting all the stuff you killed with all the same affixes and health.
Right.
No way.
That would be awesome.
No way. Yeah,
sounds impossible.
Hey, it's the same as what you did before, but now they're running at you and they're really angry and there's no aggro table.
Now there's no way to pull the right number or CC or anything.
No, it just can't happen. I mean, I would say the most close version to that happens, but with a very reduced health pool, or it's again more of an auto attack melee. Maybe they even split it up to where they've got, healers have a healing auto attack, casters have a casting auto attack, and melee auto attack, but it's generally kind of the same type of thing, kind of low hitting.
That makes sense.
Type thing.
Yeah. Right. Or either auto attacking, or I'm thinking even just their spirits are running at you. They're not targetable and they're just going to hit you and do some damage to you. And depending on how much it is, it's a healer check. When that happens, the healer has to be ready. Like, all right, we're all going to take a ton of damage.
I'm still running on my 2011 i3. Like, I can't have that many mobs on the screen at once.
Nice.
That's what I'm saying. More like what is the shadow
11 i3s, by the way? That wasn't a
the shadow priest thing where like the ghost comes out and like does damage after
auspicious spirits.
Something like that where
cool.
it's untargetable. It's just going to hit you, do damage, and it's up to your healer to heal through that.
I think the funniest thing is if it's dispellable and they just all die.
That'd be great.
Because it's just a buff, so you just dispel it. Boom, dead.
Right.
Done. And then we had to waste 10 minutes of a CTR for nothing.
Well, it's not a waste. It's entertaining.
It's an investment.
That's right. That's right.
Like Bitcoin, it's an investment. Buy now.
Oh God! It comes back around.
So other things that are coming for 8.1, we have the Heritage Armor for Dwarves and for Blood Elves. So if you have a level 120 of either of those, you can just go right ahead and start up the quest as soon as 8.1 hits next week. Awesome.
Dwarves, awesome. Night Elves, sorry.
Blood Elves.
Or Blood. Sorry.
Yeah. We're very
it's exactly the same. It's like, oh, that's every Blood Elf set I've ever seen.
Right. It really is.
Here's a throwback for you. I'm leveling a new rogue right now, and I ran into that. Do you guys remember their quest in, I want to say it's Arathi Highlands, where you become the quest giver?
Oh yeah. No, that's
yes.
It's not
Arathi Highlands.
Maybe it is Arathi.
It's Hillsbrad.
Hillsbrad. It is
Hillsbrad. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. So you become the quest giver, and then you sit up on a horse, and then the overbearing orc, like high level guy comes through, and he's like thinks he's the best or whatever, and then there's this blood elf who comes through who's Johnny Awesome.
Right.
And he's like, What can I do for you today? I will slay 1,000, whatever it is, and he just like goes off. And then later in the quest line there's somebody saying how they fell in love with this Julie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It turns out to just be Johnny Awesome because he's a blood elf and they can't tell that he's a male.
Right. Exactly.
Just Blizzard making fun of themselves. I love it.
That's awesome.
I need to level on the Eastern Kingdoms more. Because that's Eastern Kingdoms, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to go to areas that I don't,
I'm just like Westfall and then Kalimdor.
Right. Okay. Let's move on to Overwatch.
Rubbish.
No, that's not rubbish. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Something came out, I think it was today or yesterday or something like that. But Overwatch League is going to be selling their stuff in a new place. I'm sure that they'll also have a store on overwatchleague.com, but they're also having a new thing with fanatics.com, which is actually a eSports
traditional sports.
That's traditional sports. Venue for people to buy stuff online for their teams.
Is that a thing, saying T-Sports?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No,
Thorn and Thist have been saying it to me for months.
Oh my God.
So I'm assuming that it's a thing with everybody else.
Yeah.
Although it sounds weird to me too, but I'm trying to get in with the lingo here, guys.
Good on you, Pat.
But they're now with Fanatics, so that's awesome. And I'm just going to do that.
That is cool, though.
I think that's really cool, and I think that shows the power of how esports is becoming kind of a part of our culture a little bit more, and we're more accepting of it, and especially the younger guys out there that also like other sports, NBA, NFL, whatever it is, they can all kind of get together and say, you know what, I also like esports. It's also a thing.
Absolutely.
So that's good.
And every brand that gets involved with this, the better for the scene.
Right. Exactly.
Well, and NYXL has already done stuff with Nike. You've got London doing stuff with Champion.
Mm-hmm.
More and more endemic sports organizations are getting involved.
Right. And those Nike, those Jordans, the NYXL Jordans were dope.
Yeah.
They were really hot.
There's one thing that's kind of remained true is that esports companies suck at just merchandising overall, profiting from merchandise. There's lots of companies that do it. I mean, go look at any like tier 2 and tier 3 esports squad, and they're all like sponsored by some like really crappy
Joe's Crab Shack.
Yeah, well, like they're just like, it's all like I'm making this up, so sorry if this is like egamershirt.com. Use our code for 10% off your next eGamer shirt kind of thing. Where it's like, and it's just like it's your Fruit of the Loom thing with the logo on the front.
And they do a lot of online stuff because then they don't have to worry about having stock on hand. And that makes sense too. So because that's what you want to do. That means that the t-shirts are going to cost like $25 and you're only going to make $2 off of the t-shirt, but that's okay.
So it's just like, I love getting that traditional sports, because if there's one thing that esports sucks at, it's actually monetizing. the more and more I'm right now here in, the Cupertino, San Francisco, San Jose area.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've got to meet with a lot of the people from like San Francisco Shock and NRG and these other organizations. And they're like, right now, there's just like people suck at monetizing. Monetizing sucks. And they're really leaning. It used to be that traditional companies are like paying hand over foot to get involved in esports because that's where the growth is. And it's actually flipping. The seesaw is going the other way, and esports are doing whatever they can to get involved with traditional mediums because these esports companies don't understand monetization. They don't understand advertising. They don't understand marketing.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, and I'm just like, okay, I just thought it was great that they were with Fanatics.
Absolutely.
That's my whole deal.
I think we can all agree on that.
It's good. And now, really, that makes that 75% off sale for Black Friday a little bit more understandable. They wanted to get rid of all their stuff so they could get on with Fanatics. That's awesome. And
absolutely,
and
it's awesome.
This week, also, we saw the introduction of a couple of new teams officially, anyway, and that is the Washington Justice and the Vancouver Titans. Both awesome. John's holding his head again.
A face. You don't feel like?
No, I don't know.
John's making a face. Shark's making a face. Everybody's making a face.
Palmed, and I'm like, what happened?
Oh, come on, John. So it's so Washington Justice is red, white, and blue, stars and stripes type of thing, right? Vancouver. I'm down with it. I was talking about this last week, and I'm like, it's going to be a bear, and it's going to be green and brown. And I was close.
So close.
I was like, that's what I'm saying. I was like half right. Number one, it's Sasquatch. It's Sasquatch, and it's green and blue. So half right. Because it's furry.
And really good reasons for it too. Like they put in the press release about it that it's to reflect both elements of the Vancouver Canucks, and then also just the region itself. So the green of the forests and the blue of the ocean, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you see green and blue with Seattle
also
Seahawks.
Just the Canucks colors, by the way.
What's that?
They're owned by the Canucks.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
and
that's what I said.
Yeah, it's just the Canucks colors.
Yeah, so it's all good. And John, you actually had a question before we started the show that I'm going to pose to all you guys right now. So out of the new teams that we've seen, do you guys have a favorite of the new expansion teams? Is there a particular logo or we
have to pick by the logo?
No, you can pick it however you want to.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I do.
What?
I'm all about that Atlanta Reign.
Oh,
let it rain! Just because they're going to be my local team now, because Atlanta's only about 3 hours away from me. So
nice.
I'm a home team guy, and that's something he's talking about, like legitimizing esports or making it, kind of. I don't want to say the same, but interchangeable with how our society views T-sports. I can't believe that term. But yeah, like I want to be a hometown guy, so that's why I was a Fusion fan, because Fusion was the closest team to me. Last in the past couple seasons, and now and
now you have a choice.
I wish Overwatch League was better at naming their teams, and I don't know, maybe that's me. I like a very easily identifiable noun,
right?
To be able to, like, the Titans. I like that one.
Sure.
The Excelsior.
Well, I call them NYXL.
It's interesting, but I don't. It's hard to. The same thing as the rain. The rain. It's not even like the actual rain. Like the Seattle rain, I could get behind that. That makes sense. But no, this is the rain, like as in a king reigns over his. So whatever.
Right. Because they're going to be so dominant that they are going to reign.
I get it. Similar thing as the dynasty, and that's. But I don't like that one either.
And I'm wearing a dynasty shirt right now.
You are.
They may be setting up for a dynasty, but they did not have one as of season 1.
And that's just my thing. I don't know. I'm weird about that. But yeah, give me the Panthers, the Lions,
right.
Something right. I can. Oh yeah, that's scary. I like that.
Sure.
I don't know.
Well,
the rain,
the Sasquatch.
The Sasquatch. I would love cheering for the Atlanta Sasquatch.
Yeah,
I'd be all about that.
That'd be great.
But yeah, Atlanta's my team.
Thorn, how about you? Do you have a favorite? Out of the new expansion teams.
Whichever one has the rooster.
Oh, that's France. That's Paris.
There you go. There you go. Paris is my new team.
Paris is my new team.
Roosters.
Right. That's not actually it. John.
The Eternal Roosters.
Yes. John, I know that you probably have a different way of selecting favorite teams of an expansion, because you do a show about Overwatch League, and it's daily when it's going on, and now you're doing Tactical Crouch, which is basically about Overwatch League, right? And Overwatch in general.
Yeah.
So what kind of who do you like out of the expansion teams?
Oh my God, none of them. They're all really bad.
Oh.
Chengdu Hunters probably has the best branding, but then pandas are largely herbivores. So what are they hunting, and
they're hunting bamboo
do to them? Like, I don't know. The Paris Eternal, like, I like it. It's their rooster native, but I'm like, what does Eternal have to do with it?
Yeah.
Just,
nobody knows.
Make them
because anything more than 4 hours and you got to see a doctor.
Right.
It's just like
exactly.
So like, but like the Paris Eternal, I love the name, and then I'm like the logo. I'm like, I don't, but I'm glad they at least didn't go with another like fleur-de-lis kind of thing.
Sure.
The Yeti Sasquatch things from
the Titans.
Yep, Titans.
Vancouver?
Like, I'm like, okay, that's not a Titan. that's Sasquatch. Like, why are they a Titan?
Yeah,
there are some questionable logo choices.
There's just like, they either get the logo right and they get the name wrong. They get the name right, they get the logo wrong.
The one that has it so far is Washington Justice.
Washington Justice, but
red, white, and blue stripes. I mean, stripes and stars. That's great.
Captain America is already lining up to sue them for branding.
Probably,
there's
Well, it's between him and Evil Knievel. So
Evil Knievel and Battlenet News, honestly, too.
Right.
We're all lining up. We're suing. Somebody's getting sued.
I've already filed something today.
Yeah, exactly. Then you have the Hangzhou Charge or whatever, which is the little finger guns. I don't know what that's about.
John. I can explain it to you, and I explained it on the show last week. It was they came up with it. They came up with it because one of the guys was walking in socks on a carpet, and then he touched something metal, and that's what happened. So. And then he was like, "Oh my God, that's great! That's a charge. That's what we're doing."
He turned to bright pink,
right?
As he got shocked.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but shock was already taken.
Right, the shock was already taken. So
I just kind of like look at it. I mean, what else you have? Chengdu Hunters, talked about them. Charge, talked about them. Toronto Defiant, surprisingly, actually probably really strong.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that I think they probably have the strongest branding of all the new ones.
I don't know. I like the the Vancouver Chewbacca's.
The Chewbacca's. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I love that they made the Vancouver Yetis and the Canucks the same color. Like, that's great, because I can wear my Canucks jersey to
there you go,
Yeti game, right?
Yeah.
Like, great. That's super smart.
Perfect.
I get why they would do that. That's really great.
Perfect.
Atlanta Reign feels a little bit like a default like logo that you get in a multiplayer game. Where you can see the icon. It's like.
Wow. Like create a team on Madden or something like that.
Yeah. I put this on the side of my helmet, which is why I know people hate on the name
Savage.
I know people hate on the name Excelsior and stuff, but they went and spent a ton of money, got an actual marketing house designed for,
and they have a solid logo, and they have a.
I love their logo.
If there's one team right now that's winning the marketing game and actually making money off of their merchandise, it's NYXL right now.
It is.
For sure. You don't like. I mean, they're signed with freaking Nike. Like,
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, they've got some pretty rabid fans too. So I mean, it's
custom Jordans,
right?
Yeah, I mean,
custom Jordans.
They've got. I mean, they just have so much stuff there. They do their pop-up stores with limited merchandise. I mean, they just did their whole pop-up event this past week.
Mm-hmm.
That Thorn is talking about with the Jordans and stuff, and they just killed it. But they also have the money to throw at it, which, unfortunately, it takes money to make money.
Right. Speaking of throwing money at things, we're going to change topic a little bit and stay with Overwatch and kind of Heroes of the Storm and kind of other video games like this because there's something that was announced over this last week, and that was that the FTC, this is the Federal Trade Commission, this is the team of people from the government that look into things and try to make sure that what you are selling is okay. They said that they will be looking into loot boxes for video games. And so there's nothing as far as news that really goes along with that other than that piece of it. We don't know anything yet. They're looking into it, and they will file a report, and then there will be a slow moving train, as with everything that is the American government, and we'll figure it out. But we've seen this before from Europe and stuff like that. What's up, Thorn?
Yep. That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, we've seen the trend in Europe, going the way of not accepting it.
Right.
That loot boxes are in essence gambling.
Yeah. And
I always thought that's strange, but
which should be legal anyway. I know I'm going out on a limb there, but even if gambling is illegal everywhere and everyone agrees that it's bad or something like that, loot boxes still. I'm with you, Thorn. I can't make the connection between loot boxes and gambling because it's like buying a card pack.
Right.
Are buying card packs for Magic
cereal.
Right.
Getting a Happy Meal from McDonald's.
Wow. John is angry tonight.
Yeah, but John is right, though. I mean, it's the same thing. It doesn't make... So what I'm hoping is, and I'm hoping beyond hope at this point, that the FTC is going to take a look at this and not be completely moronic and be able to just make a ruling right now that this isn't gambling. Stop freaking out about it. There's no problem with selling.
Two things that I want to tell you. Number one, it's the American government. Anything could happen.
Oh yeah.
Number one. Oh yeah. Number two is that don't say that they will not make an idiotic decision. It's the entire government is weird.
I said hope beyond hope, Pat.
So the other thing that I want to say is that I think the concern that the American government and actually most of the governments are concerned about is when it comes to kids, and because you do have children that play these games. And they are buying loot boxes to get in-game items that mean nothing outside of game, except it means everything to them. And they know their parents' credit card number or whatever. And so
that's on the kids and the parents, man.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of both, right? But I think they just don't want to encourage it for kids. For adult use, maybe that's okay or whatever, but
so in essence, loot boxes are the new 1-900 call Santa numbers of the late 80s, early 90s.
Wow.
No, I feel you.
That's the thing that I got myself in trouble for.
For me, it was the touchtone, the dial, like the stories. Like you could, I don't remember what it was, but you could call a number,
right?
It was like a 1-800 number. They would tell it was like a story time, and then you could pick, like by hitting what
choose
number.
Your own adventure.
Yeah, choose your own adventure on the phone, telling a story. And oh man,
I'm glad I didn't know about that.
Be sure to drink your Ovaltine, kids.
There you go.
Drink your Ovaltine. So here's where I am in favor of regulation for this.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Unfair or deceptive.
Yeah.
I do believe that I should know the chances of myself getting a legendary skin in a loot box. I believe that should be hard coded into the game, and I believe that I should know the percentage chance of getting that. I also believe that, if there's anything deceptive about it, there should be some regulation there. If someone says like win a free, win a legendary skin, and you could win a legendary skin, and I don't know anything more about that. There's a chance of deception there.
Right. You don't know what the legendary skins are.
I get it. There should be some sort of rules there to establish what information do we need to know about this.
Right.
Yeah.
And are they what they're advertising? Is that what I'm getting?
Right.
I'm all for that.
That's what I want to talk to WoW about with my weekly cash. That's what I really want to talk to them about. I know I'm not buying it for money, but I still want to talk to them about it because it really does feel like gambling, and I'm on the short stick. I have the short end of the stick, or I don't know what it is. But yes,
I just don't get, like, I mean, I can go buy, what do we get in those, in the Blizzard bags that you can go buy, those random, you go buy those little bags, you don't know which figurine is in them.
Mystery figures, they have them all over the place.
And they have the one deadly stuff, like, can a 13-year-old not buy those?
Right. And that's the problem, is where do you draw the line, right?
Right.
And that's the thing. I agree with John. If that's what they're actually doing, is they're going in and like actually looking at finding out if there's nothing deceptive going on and regulating it in that way, making sure that we know the percentage. I'm behind all that. And I actually think that's a really good idea. However, if a 12-year-old kid is breaking the law by signing a contract with a credit card, that's go after the kid. Don't go after my game. You know what I mean?
Well,
I'm not saying throw the kid in jail, but I'm just saying, because somebody else broke a law that already exists, why are we making another law that penalizes everybody else?
I just want all my stuff for free anyway, so I don't really care.
Yeah, if it means that I get everything for free, but I still get to open up card packs, whatever.
Yeah,
well, what it means is you get nothing because the games no longer make money and they die.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know.
No,
let's make that illegal too. Game companies can't go out of business.
Yeah.
Too big to fail.
Let's do that.
Entertainment, games, anything like that. Something that's not tangibly, if you can't eat it or wear it or live in it, you can't buy it.
I just hate, gambling is obviously such a loose term in the sense that everything's gambling. It's a gamble that Pat's webcam is going to work for a Convert to Raid episode.
Right. Like, now it is, apparently.
So, whatever. Like, sure. I get that. I understand that. Sure. Loot boxes, down to its most primitive definition, is gambling. You're paying money and you're gambling that you could get something from something very rare to something very common. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
Or you can win or you lose.
But the difference between
that in the most primitive definition of that. But like, all right, regulate my cereal boxes, regulate my bottle caps for sodas, regulate my 3 Big Macs a day that I eat.
And you know what?
When Monopoly comes around.
You know what, John? They do. That's why they have rules and stuff like that. So
they do. And everything is like percentage wise, but it also like a 13-year-old can still buy a Big Mac.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I think. I don't even know if I'd go as far. Like I see what you're saying about from the very primitive, most basic definition of gambling. But for me, gambling is you're putting money on the table and it's double or nothing. You know what I mean? You either win something or you lose something. With loot boxes, you're not losing anything. You're you're going to get something.
You pay for something in game that has no value.
Sure.
Right.
And that's what some things, some people, a lot of things, like, super fast sports cars or something have no value to me. They're wastes of gas and stupid. And I mean, I guess I could resell it, but at the same time, I mean, value can be established in a lot of different ways. Yeah, I know video games in general have no value to my memo.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's hard to, I mean, I don't know. And if they're going to get that particular and regulating stuff like that, saying, well, if it doesn't have value, then you can't buy it. We get to a free society should be able to establish what has value and what doesn't.
And honestly, like, I'd much rather keep politics out of gaming. And this could very quickly blow that notion up.
It together, right?
I mean, look how hot net neutrality got in terms of a political
it's still going to be a thing.
Absolutely, and it should be. But in terms of, like, this is taking it directly into the heart of gaming. And, maybe that's a good or bad thing. Maybe it's a matter of regulation. Maybe it's a matter of, maybe this will lead to games that or game developers that stop making, all of these microtransaction games. Maybe that's the long-term, I'm really reaching here, but, there are trends in the gaming industry that are not necessarily the greatest. Right. It used to be that what the dollar amount is you're paying for an amount of entertainment. And now they're finding ways to really keep squeezing those dollars out of you. Now it's helping to permeate the industry. It's helping the industry to grow and be successful. But it's also costing a hell of a lot more.
Well, and there are some games that are taking advantage of people, to be honest. There are. And so this idea of regulation is a bad thing. My fear is, look at what happened with the Senate and investigation into Facebook, a lot of our lawmakers have no clue what the internet is.
Right.
And that's a fact.
Yeah, and
it gets dangerous.
So,
I think the one thing, the one piece of advice that was given to game companies that from all the articles that I saw was get in front of it.
Yeah,
get in front of this. Do not hide from this, because you will get blown up if you don't have a plan B.
Help educate people exactly what your value is.
Well, and think outside of the loot box, as it were.
Well, who is this 4chan?
That's what like Epic and like Call of Duty are doing, right? So like Epic and Call of Duty, they just do the season pass thing in the store. You buy currency, you get things. Sure. And they're just bypassing it completely. I think Overwatch's loot system is antiquated anyway.
Sure. Yeah,
CCGs and TCG stuff, like, I don't know if there's a way to change that a whole lot.
By the way, just another note, because I know that we're not going to have time to talk about it, but Hearthstone, Rastakan's Rumble started today, so I went in. I was saving up all my gold. Open up 50 packs. Did it? I feel better, and that's a total gamble. You never know what you're gonna get. But I got like five legendaries. So
nice.
I don't know. Did
you have fun?
Yeah.
See,
it's a slippery.
There's some value.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
It's scary.
That's why it's a hard subject.
Yeah.
I can see, for example, Overwatch, like what John's talking about, rather than loot boxes, like, yeah, you can still get loot boxes for your experience, but instead of selling loot boxes, they actually just sell you the skins so you can buy what you want or whatever.
Or they sell you a sub so that you can buy, so that you get loot boxes automatically, right, so that
you get things off of that or whatever. I can understand that. I can understand that model working for something like Overwatch. Hearthstone as a TCG? No, man, it has to be the card packs. Right. Because it breaks the game if you can just buy the cards you want.
Well, at least there they have percentages and stuff like that, guarantees. And
let me ask you, do you have a different opinion of the idea of buying loot boxes in something like Overwatch, which is a game that you purchase, you buy Overwatch, and then you have to buy more loot boxes if you want them in that volume. You can earn them in game, but you can get them at volume for extra money.
Yeah.
Do you have a different opinion of that model than you do of the Heroes of the Storm model, where the game is free outright and all you pay for are the extras that don't actually like benefit you in the game?
I would rather pay for the extras, to be honest. I mean, because, well, I don't know if that's true.
Here's the thing. The entire playable game of Overwatch, you get completely when you purchase it, right? You get all the characters, all the everything. It's not the same for Heroes of the Storm. You get one or two heroes unlocked. All of those 100 other whatever, how many they have now, are not. So you have to pay for them, or through experience, you can hope to have enough whatever to be able to purchase them, or, you know what I mean, or loot box them or whatever.
Sure.
So that's the difference for me. As long as, like, in those two examples, I would say I don't have a preference. But if you get the whole game playable for free, then I would definitely see a little bit an imbalance there, rather than paying for a game and then still paying extra for.
Yeah. You know. So do any of you feel like there's a different, like, not that there's a difference. Do any of you on this show today feel like one of those is like bad or unfair?
From the Blizzard standpoint, I don't think so.
No, as a player playing those games, but I mean, feel like, oh god, loot boxes are so unfair?
In the Blizzard universe of things, I don't really care. But like Rocket League, you get stuff for free all the time, and sometimes you get these crates. Well, then you have to buy an encryptor key to unlock the crate, right? Oh. And then that is also a chance to win loot, and sometimes it's crap. So it's like, it's varies in degrees, like skins or whatever in Overwatch, right? So you have your basic stuff, and then you have your legendary stuff. Same type of stuff with that. I feel a little bit worse about that.
I don't know how Clash of Clans has, or what's the Clash Royale has changed their monetization strategy since it first came out. But it first came out where basically you essentially had to, really, to be competitive, you had to buy these things are like that you'd win it, and I hated that model. I hate it. Purchase to be competitive.
That's the worst of the worst.
That's the worst.
It sucks. I mean, and honestly, the closest thing to that is probably Hearthstone, right? Where
sure.
But at the same time, there's, I don't know, like you have basic, but I mean, it's the same. On Clash Royale is like, you know, the same basic concept, I guess, when you break it down to it. For me, there's a few things I don't like. Things that are predatory on giving you more, like paying for like turns. I hate that. Like, you can't play this unless you pay for
your energy's out. Buy more energy.
Exactly. Like, I hate that. I think that's the worst. I would rather I think this is one of those things where we're going to have to kind of table this conversation for now. This is something that's going to be going on for a while, I'm guessing.
It's way more complex than we could handle on one show anyway.
I know, especially towards
the FTC looking into it.
Especially towards the end of the show. Plus, I've got to, you know, be available just in case I get a call on this lawsuit against the Washington Justice. I mean, because you know, it's infringement.
Yes, but I mean, if this was our audition to be special counsels to the FCC, then I think we did a fair job, gentlemen.
Boy, yeah. And I think that's going to actually have to do it for the show, unfortunately, because I know that we also, you know, had on the table talking about esports, but I guess we'll save that for next week, where we talk more about kind of the new things that are going on with HCT, and still no news from HGC, which is
that's what I was about to ask. Have we heard anything?
We have not. Roster Apocalypse has not happened. There's no announcements from HGC. We got half of an announcement from HCT talking about how they're planning on changing things, but not really how they're changing things. We are going to be hearing tomorrow about Overwatch League, about who's playing that very first week, and then, but that's not until February anyway. So, it's just kind of weird that we haven't heard anything from HGC. But maybe this next week will change everything. Who knows? Is there anything else, very quickly, that you guys wanted to mention about any of the games that are on the Battlenet at all? Anything? Okay, cool. Then I will play this, and we will talk about things that we do for fun on a regular basis, and how people can get a hold of us and all that kind of good stuff. Let me start with Thorn. What do you do, and where can people find you?
Hi, my name's Thorn. I am to be found on the Lagging Balls podcast, also on the LB stream on Friday nights. If you are a shut-in and stay in on a Friday night, come join us on the LB stream on Twitch. I'm also participating in a Dungeons & Dragons campaign with a bunch of fun folks on something called +5 to Hit. So check that out wherever your fine podcasts are sold. It's free. Yeah. But you can just catch this and I on Lagging Balls every week.
Nice. And Johnny, how about you, bud?
You can find me. I do a lot of marketing and advertising stuff for esports and gaming companies. So if you ever have any questions about that, please just let me know. Otherwise, I do podcasting. We do Tactical Crouch, Overwatch League Daily, coming back probably January, February. So that'll be fun. And Tactical Crouch right now in the meantime. And you can find me on my Twitch or Twitter at KickTripod.
Right on. And Shark, how about you, bud?
You can find me flipping burgers at Five Guys.
Nice.
And sorry, not that. But you can also find me at Merely a Setback. We record Monday nights at 9. Twitch.tv/Setback Podcast. We have a lot of fun, talk about lore. We spent this past week talking about Sourfang a lot, and I still need to get that episode out.
Nice.
We recorded that yesterday.
Nice.
And I've been flipping burgers all day, every day.
You can also find them selling loot boxes behind the Five Guys.
Right.
Selling loot boxes behind the Five Guys.
It's actual boxes, and it's just random crap.
Come for our fries, loot boxes, and cocaine.
Wow. Wow. All right. Up for good times. Also, you can find me at Pat Krane, and of course, this show is everywhere now, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to kill that music, and then I'm going to start this stuff up. Now, if you do like this show, but you want to listen to it everywhere, You can actually now. So you got your favorite podcatcher like iTunes and so forth and such things. You've got YouTube, of course, Twitch, yes, for the live show, and don't forget to hit up the live show every once in a while because you never know what's going to screw up. Mainly me. Also, we're on SoundCloud, and we've been on Spotify for a few months, and that's been a lot of fun. And now, Convert to Raid is also on Pandora. On your Pandora app on your phone, so you can go check that out. And I think it's started up already everywhere, but I'm not really sure. So go check it out. It should be in your neighborhood soon. And of course, you can always join the Bazoobo Guabo Nation over at converttoraid.com. That's where we have everything anyway. That's where all the audios, the videos, the Discord info, I don't know, everything. The Convert to Raid podcast network is over there as well. And that has all of the shows from you fellas. You fine fellas and everybody else that's regular on this show. A normal on this show?
Normies.
That's normies. That's normally on this show. Yeah. But you can find it all over at converttoraid.com. Shark, John, Thorn, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. It was a hell of a conversation with a lot of things. So thanks for that. Twitch chat, thank you very much for hanging out and being a part of this thing as well. And thanks for all the information that you deliver to us on a regular basis when we screw up. And for all those guys at home or in the car or wherever you are, thank you so much for picking us up. We really do appreciate it. And we will see you next time for all the gang here at Convert to Raid. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.